All right, court is calling 2023 CR 7666 and 2023 CR 7845, State of Texas versus Mariana Barnes. We're going to have parties announced for the record for the state.
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
John Young for the defense.
And are you Miss Barnes?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And Miss Barnes, I know you were late for court, but the court is excusing that lateness because of the weather and because she did call in to the clerks to let them know that she was stuck in traffic. And I know that some people had issues getting to court.
Did you know that there was a tornado over off of 281?
Well, they told me there was one downtown as well. I missed it.
Just me.
All right. All right, you entered a plea of no contest to kidnapping on October 17th. We're here for sentencing. Are both parties ready to proceed with sentencing?
Yeah, Your Honor.
All right. Is there any percent
No, Your Honor, we request the court to follow the agreement.
and defend? I'm sorry, in state?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court will follow your agreement, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, take in consideration 2023, excuse me, I'm going to have you sit in the court. 2023 CR 7845. And there's to be no contact with the complainant. All right, is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
Not for sentencing, Your Honor, but just off the record.
Okay, show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. I know you say you have a child and your child is young. You're going to have to start making better decisions. I read the police report and it appears that everybody was using drugs. Using drugs and having a child does not make for a good life for a child. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. Is there
Victim impact, Your
all right, is there a letter that I'm being asked to read?
Honor. I don't, let me check, see if she wants to read it or.
All right, court is calling 2023 CR 8669, State of Texas versus Quetzalcoatl Martinez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Lord Hickenau, defense.
And are you Mr. Martinez? Yes. I'm very sorry for mispronouncing your first name. I promise you that I've been working on it for a while. All right, I see that we have an interpreter here. All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
You can lower your hand and could you state your name for the record?
Norma Nero.
All right. Mr. Martinez, all of the documents that I'm going to review with you are in English. Were those gone over with you in Spanish?
Yes.
And counsel, do you speak Spanish?
Yes, I do.
And do you speak it fluently?
Yes, I do.
And were you able to go over these documents with your client in Spanish?
Yes, I was.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right, counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
I have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Martinez, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes.
Did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Judge.
Mr. Martinez, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishment and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Did you understand you're charged with driving while intoxicated, third or more?
Yes.
The range of punishment for that offense is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial? A right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, he has. Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do. I do believe he was. And is.
Mr. Martinez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No.
No.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Sure.
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Mr. President?
I'm a resident.
All right. Counsel, did you advise your client on the consequences of entering a plea of no contest or guilty in this cause and how that relates to the immigration laws?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
Okay. Did that advice include possible consequences such as deportation, exclusion from the United States, and the denial of naturalization?
It did, Your Honor.
Do you believe he understands the consequences of entering a plea?
I believe he does.
Mr. Martinez,
Sure.
did your attorney explain to you the consequences of entering a plea of no contest or guilty to this offense and the impact it will have on your immigration status?
Sure.
Yes.
Did possible consequences from entering into a plea in this case include deportation, the denial of naturalization, and the denial of admission to the United States?
Sure.
Yes.
Right. So do you understand your attorney's advice as it relates to the impact of this plea on your immigration status?
Sure.
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Sure.
Yes.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 6 years in the prison and the state is opposing your application. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Sure.
Yes.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Judge.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Sure.
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Sure.
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
State offers State's Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
No, Judge.
All right, everyone, we're on the record. So I'm going to ask that y'all not hold conversations near the court reporter because she needs to hear. All right. Did you review the document entitled Waiving Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments or review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. I'm going to need a date for PSI. Yes. And it'll be a PSI and a TAP evaluation while in custody.
Your Honor, address the court as to the custody issue.
Yes.
We'd ask the court to consider letting Mr. Martinez continue on the PR bond that he was on. He had some violation reports as far as the calibration of the machine, the ignition and unlock. But it was a situation where he had just gotten fired from his job. He had limited funds. And when he went to calibrate the machine, the company that was doing the calibrating said he had a balance due from prior DWI. So that threw him off. And in the meantime, the violation reports were presented to the court. And that's why we were here. And he was in custody. We'd ask you to consider.
All right, we'll set it for a hearing, and that may be able to be heard today. You can have it heard by Judge Nahara. All right, what date, Ms. Ferguson?
January 3rd.
All right, so we'll be back on January 3rd. And then just speak with the coordinator, and they'll coordinate with Judge Nahara to hear that.
Today,
If you have the motion file, they may need a motion.
well, I have to follow.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. But just speak to them beforehand.
Oh, good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Next two.
Yes, thank you.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, thank you so much. Good seeing
You're
you.
welcome. You're welcome.
Happy after Thanksgiving.
You too, Judge.
All right, court is calling 2022 CR 7549, State of Texas versus Devin Strike. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett.
Vince?
Adam LaHood for the defendant, Your Honor.
All right, and are you Devin Strike?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you entered a plea on September 5th of no contest. And there was a request for a PSI and TAP evaluation. According to your plea bargain agreement, the state is recommending deferred adjudication. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, any objections to the PSI report?
No, Your Honor.
No objections. Just one question. They said a DDRF and mix screening was set for, I believe, today, say the 26th.
Yes.
I didn't know that was done. That's other than that, it's not an objection, Your Honor. I was just curious if it was completed.
No, if it's scheduled for today, it's not completed.
That would make sense.
Yeah, no problem. So have you had a chance to review the TAP evaluation as well?
I have, Your Honor.
Any objections to the TAP evaluation for either party?
No, Your Honor.
Nothing in the public defense, Your Honor.
All right. Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. We're here. Mr. Strike, he took responsibility for the action. He acknowledges he messed up, Judge. We're hoping the court will grant him deferred. Obviously, he completes it and have a very good outcome for him. Let him avoid a felony record and felony conviction for the rest of his life. If he messes up, he's facing up to 2 years in state jail, which is day for day. He understands how serious this is, Your Honor, and respectfully would ask the court to follow the plea and grant him deferred adjudication today.
All right, Mr. Strike, is there anything you wish to say? All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
Devin Strike.
All right, do you have any a support system, family,
Um,
or are you just on your own?
I have a support system.
I'm sorry, who?
I have a support system.
All right, who's your support system?
My mom, my girlfriend.
All right, do you live with your mom?
No,
Who do you live with?
my girlfriend.
All right, and how old is she?
I'm 28,
All right, and how old are you?
21.
All right, do you all have children?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I remember this case. That's why I asked you that. So if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Negative.
All right, when's the last time you used?
Never. Well, not never, but a long time ago.
Well, I mean, you're,
Reps.
so you're saying that you haven't used and you were not using the drugs that you're here for today?
Mhm.
You're gonna have to say yes or no.
No, ma'am.
Are you employed?
No, ma'am.
So you're not supporting yourself.
No, ma'am.
So how are you surviving?
Um,
And when I say surviving, if you don't have employment, you have to eat, you have to drink water or drink something, you have shelter, obviously. So how are you supporting yourself? How do you eat? And when I say how do you eat, how are you getting food?
my girlfriend.
All right. And how old is the child?
She's 5 months.
And is she in daycare or what?
You know,
So where is she now?
at home.
With your girlfriend?
Mhm.
Okay, you need to say yes or no. And does your girlfriend work?
Yes, ma'am.
And what does she do?
She works from home.
Why don't you have a job?
Because I'm waiting on a disability check to see if I'm qualified.
All right, have you put in for disability?
Yes, ma'am.
And what's your disability?
I have schizophrenia.
Okay. All right. Did anybody see whether or not he would be a good candidate for mental health court? Was that even looked at? And the reason why I'm asking, I see his criminal history, but let me just tell everybody what my concern is. My concern is, obviously, there's an issue with him staying on his medication. We have a 5-month-old at home. The girlfriend works. I'm not saying anything will happen with the 5-month-old, but I think we all know things can happen with a 5-month-old if you have somebody with schizophrenia. And I do not have the support to monitor him the way mental health court would monitor him, or to monitor him, with probation. They can only do so much because they have a heavy caseload. And if he's in mental health court, they can do more. So that's my concern. So I don't know if anybody else has those concerns. I don't know if anybody wants to see if he would be accepted in mental health court.
What would be involved in that, Judge? I'm not too familiar with the process.
Oh, they report weekly to mental health court.
Okay.
They would probably get a case manager, which he needs a case manager to make sure he stays on his medication. Are you on any medication?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have a case manager?
No, ma'am.
He needs a case manager to make sure he's taking his meds. And this has just been my experience in having clients who had mental health issues, is that they start feeling great, then they stop taking their medications. And the reason why they stop taking their medications is because there are side effects and they don't tell their doctor about it. And then the next thing you know, my client will be back in court for another criminal case because they're not on any medications. So that, coupled with he's trying to get SSI for his mental health issues, the mental health court would have people that would be able to help him with that. So I don't know if you all want to discuss that. I don't know if, based upon his history, state if you want to consider that or not.
I haven't looked at his history of late, Your Honor.
All right. Well, what I see on this is there was a misdemeanor assault case. evading to detention, and he received probation for both of those, and probation in the assault case, and it was dismissed, I'm assuming because he completed probation. And then the evading arrest, his probation was terminated. And then resisting arrest, probation was terminated. And then we have this.
Yeah.
So I don't know if y'all want to look at that. I don't want to set him up.
Well, the state wouldn't be opposed to this.
Okay, because I don't want to set him up for failure.
We're not opposed, Judge.
All right, so if you will go, Ms. Ferguson, can you see if they can do a referral for mental health court for him? And then we'll reset it, do a referral for mental health court. And then if he's accepted to mental health court and you all want to do a motion for new trial, we'll hear it. And if there's no objections, then because they don't accept you if you have
A plea.
any case,
Okay.
yes.
Absolutely.
All right, Adam, if you will wait, Mr. Strike, Mr. Strike.
Hold on, bud.
So do you understand what's going on?
Not completely,
All right, so
I'll talk to
you'll
him.
talk to him?
Yeah.
All right, and if you could tear up the trial court certification for me.
But you're good. So, have a seat. I'll talk to you.
All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 2272, State of Texas versus Megan Hayes Wilhite. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense?
Kelly Piddle.
And are you Megan Wilhite?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I pronouncing your last name correctly?
Yes, ma'am. Will Height.
All right. I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision and First Amendment Motion to Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did
Yes,
you
ma'am.
understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Megan Hayes Wilhite who was placed on community supervision in 2020 CR 2272 for the offense of burglary of a habitation force on August 29, 2022 for a term of 6 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 4 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Megan Hayes Wilhite, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of April, June, and July 2023 in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True, miss.
And Judge, it's going to be on the first amended motion to revoke. It's violated condition number 1 on or about the 26th day of September 2023 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Megan Hayes Wilhite, committed the offense of theft in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True, miss.
Your Honor, state waives all the violations.
Any objection?
No.
All right. Did you understand by pleading true to violations 4 and 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison? Did you understand that? And up to a $1,500 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violations 4 and 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violations 4 and 1 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
No, Your Honor, we were going to go open to the court. The state was going to recommend 6 years TDC.
All right. So the state is asking for 6 years defense.
Judge, I don't know if she was just sworn. Can I have my client testify briefly?
Yes. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Megan Hayes Will Height.
All right. And
Megan.
just one moment. There's Rattling. All right. Who are these people? Are they on the docket? The only people who are allowed in the courtroom are defendants. Sorry about that.
It's okay, miss.
Megan, you understand the state is recommending that you go to prison,
Yes, sir.
and you're asking the court to send you to safety.
Yes.
Why?
I want the opportunity. I haven't been able to get any kind of help when it came to drug rehab, and I really do want the opportunity to be able to get clean. I think it's about time that I do something good with my life, and I believe that SafeP would be a reasonable option for me to be able to get clean and do the best I can for myself and my family.
What is your drug of choice?
Marijuana and methamphetamines.
Okay. When did you first start using marijuana?
When I was about 14, 15,
When
and
did you start using meth?
methamphetamines about 32 years old,
How old are you now?
38.
Have you ever received any type of outpatient or inpatient treatment?
No, sir.
In regards to the reporting, you didn't report for those months. Why?
I did not have a vehicle and I had my belongings taken from me, from an individual that I was living with, my phone, everything, all of my email addresses and everything had been changed up. I had no way to contact anybody. And I was just scared to go up to the probation office at that point. I already knew that I'd MTR'd and I was just scared.
Okay. You understand that you could have gone up to probation at any time and they would have helped you and probably assisted you in getting your identification and that type of stuff, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But you didn't do that, right?
No, sir.
So you were placed on probation when, like last year in August?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You didn't receive any type of treatment?
No, sir.
Okay. And so you're asking for it because you don't want to use methamphetamine.
Most definitely not.
Passwords.
State, any questions?
Just a couple, Your Honor. Ms. Woolhite, you did have an opportunity to review the court summary, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And did you see here that this isn't your first MTR?
Yes, sir.
And isn't it true that at the last MTR, you were told to go to outpatient treatment and that was a part of one of the conditions?
Yes, sir.
And you didn't go?
I don't think that the outpatient was available at that time. They had told me that I was taking classes, but that wasn't, I guess in the, how would I explain this? They had me doing certain things at a certain time and I'm sorry, the outpatient wasn't at that time that I was going. I was going to classes downtown, but it wasn't treatment at that time.
Pass the witness, Judge.
No further questions.
I have a question. What classes are you saying you were going to downtown?
I was going to the theft classes.
All right, so what are you saying happened with outpatient treatment?
I hadn't gone to the outpatient treatment yet.
All right, why not?
I had been working and I didn't have time to do it at that time. I hadn't been able to make time yet.
All right, so this is what I'm trying to get to. One, was outpatient treatment ordered for you? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Did you do outpatient treatment? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
What is your reason for not doing outpatient treatment?
I was, like I said, I was working at the time. I didn't have the time at that period of time. I was going to be making time for it, but I did not have the time at that period of time.
All right. Because, and the reason why I asked that question, because, and if I'm wrong, everybody can let me know I'm wrong. I'm going to take that as a sign of disrespect. But it seems as though you were saying that outpatient treatment wasn't available when the state was questioning you. Did I hear that incorrectly?
No, ma'am. No, not that it wasn't available. It's whenever I was with Ms. Martha Reyna, we were setting everything up. She had me doing the classes at that time, and I hadn't been able to do the outpatient treatment yet. Not that it wasn't available because it was part of my agreement, but it just, she had me doing the classes. I was checking in and everything like that with her, doing my UAs and everything. I just hadn't done the classes yet for the outpatient treatment.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
No, Judge.
No, Judge.
All right. Probation.
Yes, Your Honor.
What is probation requesting?
Your Honor, the recommendation on the court summary is if she is not revoked, then to send her to safe P. I would like to point out this is her second MTR. And as she stated, it looks like she may have maybe entered the theft classes, but they were never completed.
Okay.
So at least we don't have records that they were complete.
All right. Anything else from either side?
Just brief argument, Judge.
All right. Then I'll hear argument. State you are requesting 6 years.
Yes, Judge.
Is there anything you wish to add?
Judge, it's just, she's been given plenty of opportunities to attend treatment. Even when answering the questions on treatment today, she didn't really give an answer other than she didn't have the time to do it. She's been given chance after chance. That's why the state's recommending time in TDC.
All right. Defense.
Judge, the purpose of probation is to rehabilitate individuals. I understand this is Ms. Wilhide's second MTR, but if she's given an opportunity in safety and she's able to no longer use methamphetamines in the future, then that's the win, that's the purpose. And if safety is successful, then she'll be able to complete the rest of her probation. If it's not successful, she'll be back here and you send her to 10 years TDC. So we're just asking for that opportunity to try to get her the treatment so she doesn't continue to use methamphetamines.
All right. Anything else from you, Ms. Wilhite?
No, miss.
All right, Ms. Wilhite. The problem is, it appears that you have started things, but you have finished nothing. And the problem is, you were given a chance at outpatient treatment and you didn't take advantage of it. I could understand if you did outpatient treatment and it wasn't working. And everyone who comes into this court who's on probation, no, I always say, if there's an issue, if there's something you have a problem with, if you feel probation isn't addressing it, you can always come to the court and say, Judge, this is not what they're addressing. Judge, I have a drug problem. Can you help me with that? Judge, I have mental health issues. Can you help me with that? We have an open door policy here. You can always come in and ask for that. But you haven't taken advantage of that. I'm going to grant the motion and revoke you. The state is asking for 6. Defense, what are you requesting?
Judge, we're asking for 4.
Okay. All right. I'll sentence you to 5 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. Is there still restitution owed? Because there were several people
Yes, ma'am.
restitution was to be paid to.
Yes, ma'am.
So did they ever put in any amounts of restitution that were due?
Honor. No, ma'am.
All right, so they didn't put in any amounts, so I don't have any amounts, and if they want to do something with that later, they will have to take it up as a civil matter or somewhere else, but this court is not going to put it in the orders because I don't have anything. There's still to be no contact with the complainants that are previously listed. And let me write those down. If you would like, what I can do is I can recommend for you the therapeutic community. I am not in charge of whether or not they give you or place you in the program. You'll have to still request it, even though I put it on the form recommending it. It will not increase the length of time that you are in custody. So for example, if you're coming up for parole in 2 years or whatever, and you have not completed the therapeutic community portion of it, they're not going to say, well, we're going to give her parole, but since she hasn't completed the therapeutic community, we're going to keep her. That's not the way it works. It's just there for you while you're there. Would you like that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'll order therapeutic community. You're still going to have to ask for it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Because this is not a plea bargain agreement, you do have a limited right to appeal, and that right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you were on probation. And state has tendered dismissals and the misdemeanor cases that are pending. All right, is there anything else?
No, ma'am.
That's it.
All right, good luck to you, okay?
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
You, Judge. I think this one here is.